Hey Geekly, Kikai Wafra here, and today, pull up a stool, because we've got a big one to unpack. We need to talk about the absolute state of the game-as-a-service promise, because one of the biggest flags in the racing genre just got lowered to half-mast, and it smells like burning rubber and broken promises. We are talking about Forza Motorsport, the serious, track-focused racing sim from Turn 10 Studios. You know, the one that came out just last year in 2023, the big reboot? Well, the news just dropped, article is in the description, that active development is effectively over. Turn 10 confirmed that while the servers are staying online, you should not expect no new cars, no new tracks, no new features, and perhaps most alarmingly, no more regular bug fixes. The studio is pivoting almost entirely to help co-develop Forza Horizon 6, which is apparently hitting us in 2026 and finally taking us to Japan. Now, let's take a breath and look at this from the corporate angle. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. If you look at the numbers, this makes total sense. Forza Horizon, the open-world arcade spin-off, is infinitely more popular than this serious motorsport series. It brings in the casuals, it sells the Game Pass subscriptions, and it's just more fun for the average Joe. So from a business standpoint, moving your resources to the game that actually makes money, that is smart. Plus, they aren't pulling the plug completely. They explicitly said servers remain active, they are going to cycle through old events so you can still get rewards, and you can still play the game you paid for. In an era where companies like Ubisoft just delete games from existence, keeping the servers running is actually a decent move. And you have Phil Spencer, the Xbox boss, saying he wants to reduce pressure on the teams by giving them more time. That sounds benevolent, right? A kinder, gentler industry. But it is when I started reading the fine print and remembering the marketing from literally 12 months ago that I started to twitch. Because this is where we get to the total BS part. Remember what they told us when Forza Motorsport launched? They didn't sell us a game, they sold us a platform. They used all the buzzwords. They said it was built from the ground up to be supported for years. They implied this was the World of Warcraft of racing games. And now, barely a year later, it's on life support. They aren't adding content, they're recycling it. And let's talk about that reducing pressure line from Phil Spencer. It sounds nice until you realize the context. The reason development is stopping is because Turn 10 got hit with massive layoffs back in July. We're talking about nearly half the staff, around 120 people shown the door. So when Spencer says he wants to reduce pressure, he's saying that after they fired the people who actually make the game. You don't reduce pressure by firing half the workforce and telling the survivors, okay, forget the game you poured your soul in, now go hustle on Horizon. That is not benevolence, that is damage control. The hypocrisy here is staggering. They sold us a live service dream to justify a $70 price tag and microtransactions, promising a game that would evolve. But the second the metrics dipped, the service part of live service vanished. It turns out supported for years actually meant supported until the next fiscal quarter looked shaky. It feels like they are taking us for fools, expecting us to just get hyped for Horizon 6 in Japan and forget that they just abandoned their flagship simulator after a single lap. It's the classic industry bait and switch. Overpromise on longevity to get the sale, then cut and run when the work gets hard. Anyway, the article is in the description. Read the quotes for yourself. So, Geekly, you're the judge. Is this just a smart business pivot to the superior Horizon franchise that we should be happy about? Or, as I suspect, is this proof that games as a service is just a marketing lie used to sell unfinished products that get abandoned the moment they stop printing money? Let me know what you think in the comments. And that is the grim reality of Forza shifting permanently into neutral. If you appreciate the honesty, smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you are deleting the game or holding on. If you want to keep my engine running, the Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description. Quick question for tomorrow. Should I rock the cyberpunk jacket or the vault suit? Cast your votes. I will see you in the next one. This was Kikai Wafra for News Geekly.